Okay, so today we're going to look at this exam question. This is from the junior cycle. And yeah, so let's have a look. So the figure shows a design for a kitchen knife block. So knives would go in here and in here. A 3D graphic is also shown. So we have a 3D graphic and we have the figure. Draw an elevation in the direction of the arrow. So step one, we need to note that direction of that arrow. So that arrow is pointing this way from right to left. So if I just draw a little sketch over here, if I have my XY line, I know my elevation is going to go on the top left hand side of that. Now, usually it would matter a lot because we might have to project an end view, but for this case we don't. We're going to have a plan also, which is going to be directly below, so I'm going to draw a B. And if we were to project an end view, it would usually come in this direction, which means it would be over here. Now, we don't have to for this one, so we can actually place both of these right in the middle of our XY line. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out the height that we need. We're going to make sure we figure out that we have enough width at the bottom of the page as well. So the height that we totally need is 120 plus 15, so 135 high. So we need to come down more than 135, and the width is 100, so we need to have more than 100 at the bottom of our page. So with that, I'm actually going to come down probably 170, which should give me enough room here. So 170, and then draw my XY line across my page. And the more we do these, the more you're going to know about balancing your page so that everything fits. So starting off, I'm going to draw my XY line. I'm going to come down 170 from the top of my page, and I'm going to draw my XY line in. So I'm going to zoom out my camera and zoom out a bit more. Go. Autofocus. There we go. So I'm going to measure down 170, down 70, down 100. There we go. I'm going to draw my XY line across there and label it as so, XY. Now I'm going to find the center of the page, just so that it's nice and balanced. I'm going to come in exactly to the center, into there. There we go. And then I can measure out my measurements. So let's have a look at the drawing again. So if you want to get a picture of this, I'd rewind to the start of the video and take a photo of the actual image so that you could follow along. So I'm going to figure out the total length now, 140 total length. So I'm going to measure that here. I'm going to make sure it's centered. So I'm going to come 70 one side and 70 to the other, just so that it's nice and centered on the page. I'm now going to draw a light rectangle to show where this image or this view is going to fit. So construction line it up. Same on this side. And again, the height of the object was 135. So I'm going to measure up 135 to there. And I know now my front elevation, has to fit in there. That's where it will fit. Now we're going to draw that front elevation. So first things first, when we look in here, we're going to see this whole surface as one rectangle. We're only going to see a corner there, come all the way around, and we're not going to be able to tell that the curve is there. We're just going to see it as a big rectangle. So a big rectangle that's 140 long and it's 15 high. So if I measure up my height now, my 15, I can draw in that rectangle. There we go. Solid line all the way across, and then come down vertically. Now I'm going to start then with the biggest part of the object. Haven't done this exam question before, so I don't actually know. I'm going to actually start with this part here. I'm going to continue this line up, and then I'm going to hopefully try and find this point just here. So let's do that. So we're going to come up to the top, and then we're going to measure out to the left 65 and come down 30 to find this point. So straight up to the top. Like so. Out 65. $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $65. Draw a construction line down. Try to do it accurately. Shadow put me off. And then we're going to measure down 30 from that point there. To there. I can now join that back up. There we go. And I've now drawn up this edge, down this edge. I now need to just find this point here, which is going to be in 40 if we follow these projection lines. So it's just going to be coming in 40 from the base. And then we have that sorted. 40 and join her up. There we go. Now we just need to finish that little small object, so let's figure out how far out further that comes. So if we have a look at the drawing here, you can see that this edge here comes out 50 if we follow these measurements. So that there is 50 and this here is 40. So I'm going to come out 50 and up 40. We'll find that point and then we'll just find this point. And back 50 to there, up 40, to there, and then I need to find where that point hits up there. And I can see, looking at the drawing, that it's up 20 millimeters above this. So if I actually measure up another 20 millimeters, and I know it is on this edge here, if I bring it across, I can just join it back up, and there we go, there's our elevation finished. Now part B, if you have a look, we need to project down a plan. So as we would normally do, we're going to project down all our points. So first things first, I'm going to bring down every point, even if it's not necessary just at this point. Every single point needs to be brought down. And here. And the last point. There we go. I'm going to leave the 20 millimeter gap as I would normally do. If you're tight for space, you could leave only 10. And I'm going to draw a horizontal line showing the back edge of the object. Now, we know that this object is curved, so it kind of comes up, curves around and goes back. But I know that it is flat as far as here, so I'm going to draw in that edge just there. And then it comes around in a semicircle. I know that the object is 100 millimeters wide, so I'm going to measure down 100. And I'm going to come back across solid to there. Let me just move the camera a little bit. There we go. So I've drawn the back edge of this entire thing, which shows this back bit coming across and back up as far as here. Right, so now we need to find the center point to draw this semicircle. So I'm going to find the center point. I know that it's going to be in 50 because the whole object is 100, and I'm just going to use my compass now as accurate as possible. There we go. And we have that outline of the plan drawn. Now we need to look at the measurements again. So again, I'm going to start with this part. You can see that this is only 80 wide, which means it comes in 10 from each side because it's centered on the object. So I'm going to measure in 10 from this side and measure down 10 from the top side. And then we're going to draw this rectangle that we're going to see here that's going to be 80 and it's going to be 65 long. Now, you can see already that it's going to come to here. So all I need to do is measure down 10 along there. This is why we project down all our points so that we can save ourselves some time. Remember, every point in elevation, so this point has to be directly above where it is in plan. There we go. And if we look at the drawing, I know these come back parallel, so straight back, and the same here. So I've drawn that top edge. I now need to find the bottom edge here. So this is going to be down here. it's the exact same width, because if I look at the drawing, it shows that it's the same width here. So it doesn't come in at an angle. So I need to find that point, which is going to be just there. And we're going to show the hidden detail. So the hidden detail comes in and it comes this way. For now, I actually can't show that because I need to find the little object. So that little edge is going to be coming up and it's going to start coming this way. So let's find this edge here now. So let's find these 2 points and let's show everything that we can see. So first off, we're not going to actually be able to find these 2 points or see these 2 points. So we're going to see some hidden detail coming this way as well. I can see that that object is 50 millimeters wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show my center line. Big dash, small dash, big dash, small dash, big dash, small dash, big dash. Have my center line shown. I'm going to measure out 25 either side. And I'm just going to draw some light construction lines. Now, so there we go. We know that that object is somewhere here. I know that these points have to be on that edge. So there we go. We found 1 point and 2 points. Also, these 2 have to be on that. So there they are. There and there. And then these have to be here as well. So there and there. We can see that, so we can draw that in solid. Now we can start bringing it back. So we're drawing this line here. Comes back as far as that edge. Now it goes in under this object, so when we're looking down, we're not going to see this edge here. So we may draw a hidden detail as far as there, but that hidden detail continues on because we can see this bottom surface, so we'll just extend it on to where it stops, just there, and the same up here. Like that. Solid line out. And then the last thing we need to show is this dashed line going up this way. And this dashed line coming down this way. Which shows these corners here. Now let's see that I have everything shown. So yes, 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 yes. And there we go. Everything's done apart from the 4 dimensions. So I can do some 4 dimensions really quickly. I'm going to come out parallel with some leaders. Coming out again. Here, I'm going to measure away 10 millimeters, give myself some room, and I'm just going to draw a vertical line. I'm going to put some nice little arrows on the end, there and there. I know that that is 100. So I'm going to put 100. I can then do any other 4 dimensions that I want to do. So I might do this here. So a little bit lighter than your solid lines. Measure out your 10 mil again. So there. Come in. Now that that is 50. Then do the height. I already have the height line over here. So I'm just going to measure out my 10 mil. Draw my leader. Extend it down. Put both measurements on the same line. Draw in a little leader again. Oops. Move my page a little bit and do the same here. And I know that this here is 15. And this here is 120. And there we go, there's that exam question done. Any questions, let me know in class. Thanks.